Welcome to WrestleMan with the podcast, and tonight we are going to be talking about
SummerSlam!
Let's get started. Welcome to WrestleMan with the podcast. I'm Dylan Shields. We talk Raw, SmackDown, wrestling news, and some fun top lists. With that being said, ring the bell. How are we doing, people? I'm so fucking hyped right now. This is potentially the biggest WrestleMania with the podcast episode to date. We are going to be having our predictions for SummerSlam. And you guys have seen some familiar faces here, but I'm going to introduce two new people here. You obviously know Matt a lot. Troy has been on the podcast plenty of times. I interviewed Mark a few months ago. But first, I'm going to introduce Brad. He is my new college roommate here. This is his first episode. How are we doing tonight, Brad?
I am doing fabulous. I'm excited for what your opinions are with predictions, so I'm excited to talk.
Oh, absolutely. Nick is also a first-time appearance here. We know him from our hometown of Bethel Park High School. How are we doing tonight, Nick?
I'm doing great. Happy to be here. Thank you for having me. I'm very excited to get into the predictions for the SummerSlam card because this is a very, very big event with a big lead up. So I'm excited to hear what you guys think.
Oh, absolutely. And two guys behind me here, not as much wrestling fans, but two of them are going to be going to SummerSlam with me. Poor Nick and Brad cannot go, but the rest of us are. Let's start with Ian Phelps here making his first appearance.
How's it going? Great to be here. I'm just here for a good time.
All right. And finally, we have another friend from Bethel Park, Evan.
What up, y'all? I'm just happy to be here. Happy to be with all of you, and let's make some good predictions, huh?
All right.
The main event. You saved the best for last, clearly.
Yes, we saved. Oh, indeed, we did. So it seems like, I know we already mentioned it, Nick. You mentioned it. The card looks fucking stacked. I am so excited to go to this in person. It's funny how all of them are one-on-one matches.
Yeah, there's no tag matches.
Are for championships except for Drew Punk.
Which is crazy because I thought they would have added in some sort of tag match for at least for the tag team champion because we've had recent tag team champion gold change hands both on Raw and SmackDown like within the past few months. So I figured they'd bring it up like a rematch or something, but.
Yeah, I know it is a little bit odd, but besides SummerSlam predictions, we are also going to very quickly do the SmackDown matches. We're going to predict the women's tag title match and then the Bloodline versus DIY.
Or DIY.
Yeah, poor
sacrificial lambs. They really
DIY.
are.
But I got a little clip here. I don't know, Matt, if you can see out of the corner here. You've been pretty good in predictions. Ever since this podcast, you have been very good.
Although SummerSlam, I'm not sure. I'm not confident with mine this pay-per-view. So we'll see.
I'm confident.
But
this
for
man's always
the viewers at home, I got a little video here. This short got almost like 500 views. This is all of Matt's correct picks.
Drew will have broken dreams. When Priest cashes in on him.
No!
Wins the title. I have to say that I do think Punk's going to get involved. And I'm going to say that Damian Priest is going to retain. I don't see Drew winning. I still think they're going to do Drew versus CM Punk at SummerSlam, just not for the title.
I think Drew's going to win. And when Drew cashes in, Punk screws him over, and he loses yet another world title match.
Oh, you think he'll officially cash it in?
Yeah.
Isn't it
You're
ironic?
right about Drew McIntyre matches, though.
It's McIntyre and Priest matches, and it's the world title. But you nail it. Like we were dead wrong at WrestleMania. What was going to happen? So.
Mark did. I got every prediction right for WrestleMania. I called it even down to the ladder match with the tag titles too.
Really?
So, pissed me off because
it seems like we got a competition between Matt and Mark.
I give props to Mark.
Yes, for the predictions championship here. But let's quickly, I don't have any pictures or anything. Let's just quickly go over the SmackDown matches since they are pretty important. Let's do the women's tag title match first. We got Bianca and Jade challenging again, Alba and Fire for the tag titles. Matt, who do you think is gonna win this?
Alba Fire and Isla Dawn.
I think they're just going to retain, and I think that's what's going to maybe sort of make dissension between Jade Cargill and Bianca. So that's what I think is going to happen. I'm not saying it's going to happen like the rivalry is going to happen immediately after, but I feel like that's going to be like the first step towards like a miscommunication or something during the match or something.
Interesting, because I think we're going to crown new champions here, because it was hard for me to believe that they lost them in the first place, but I really think they gave Fire and Dawn that moment in UK at Scotland, because, well, I think one of them, like their mother recently, like passed away right before the pay-per-view, and I just think they wanted to give that crowd a moment, because Drew was going to lose and the crowd wasn't going to go happy, so at least like give them a good moment here, because they really haven't done that much as the champions. So I think that was just a feel-good moment, maybe give them a little bit of a reign. I think they're going to give it back to Bianca and Jade for maybe a couple more months, and then we'll see dissension, because it was hard for me to believe that they lost them that quick in the first place. Let's do Troy and Mark next. Who do you got?
I'm gonna go with new champions. Same with you, Dylan. I feel like it's like when Saraya won the AEW Women's title in Wembley and then dropped it like a month later.
Yeah.
It is just for the hometown pop. They got their hometown pop. They're not doing anything with it. Like, when's the last time they've really had like a tag team match, like the Unholy Alliance? Like, nothing. So I mean,
Yeah.
but Bianca and Jade are still on TV constantly. So I feel like for the belts and stuff, it would just make more sense to put them back on them.
Makes sense. What you got, Mark?
I quite frankly don't care.
Never does.
But with that being said, I think that the champs will probably retain. I do agree with Matt. I think they will start the dissension now. I imagine Jade turning on Bianca because I think she just has the potential to be such a better heel, in my opinion. I mean, you look at her presentation, everything, the entrance. To me, the entrance is the biggest part of wrestling, and to me, that's just what she has now is such a heel like entrance. Just she comes in, flexes on everybody. So I think they'll start the dissension now and potentially do. I'm imagining a trilogy of matches, maybe starting at Bad Blood. I feel like that would make sense.
Well, it's funny you said I don't care, because I don't think WWE cares that much about the women's tag titles that much.
No, I still don't think that they should even have those titles, if I'm being honest. I don't think there's a big enough roster for that.
It should be a mid-card title. It really should be a women's IC title.
They won't stop with those titles, though. Nick, who do you got for this?
I'm not like Mark. It's not that I don't care, but I'm not super familiar with the women's tag team division, so I'm what I'm saying isn't like accurate. I do, however, I'm leaning more towards Alba, and I would like to see Alba and her partner win. Forgive me, I'm forgetting her name.
I forget too.
I their names. That's the problem. I don't even know who they are.
I would love to see them retain. Simply, one, because you guys make a great point, and especially Mark, that it would be cool to see that team kind of split up, and Jade would be a great heel. I love seeing that team together, Jade and Bianca. I think they're a really awesome, powerful team, but I feel like we could really tap into more of Jade's skill if she turns heel. And I don't want to say hate. Hate's a strong word. I dislike it whenever WWE gives these wrestlers these big championship wins just to strip them of the title. Like you brought up Saraya. My first thought was Zack Ryder in 2016. He got that big WrestleMania win, and he was awesome. And then he lost it the next night.
Immediately.
And to me, it's like, yeah, that pop was awesome in the moment when they won the championship, but if they lose it just a month later, then it was like, well, what was the point of that win then if they didn't get actually like hold the championship and do something with it? That moment was cool in time, but if they only hold it for so long after, there's no point. So I would like to see them hold a little bit longer and try to like do some more with it, and really truly like be the champions as opposed to just have like a little title reign. So I'm going with a retention. No change of hands.
You don't know the name. Brad, who do you think's winning this?
We're going to be crowning new champions. I can tell you that much. Jade and Bianca are a powerful team, and I kind of agree with Mark with a lot of stuff. I'm not really familiar with the women's division, but also I think they're definitely going to break up down the line. Jade's going to turn heel. I think we know that. Bianca is like the John Cena woman. She is the ultimate babyface. You cannot change that. But I feel like they'll break up down the line because this is going to be a big match. I feel like it'll be down to WrestleMania. And that's my prediction. Down the road, when they break up, I think WrestleMania will be just like a great match. And I feel like it won't be at Bad Blood. I feel like it'll be much later because they need a longer raid. Because I feel like the women's tag division is not really that prestigious, but you have like stars like Bianca and Jade running it. I think it will help elevate stars. And like they need that. The women's tag division's been forgetful ever since it's been first introduced. So I think they should go on a decent run and then someone close to WrestleMania, maybe around like January, Jay turns, WrestleMania match. Everybody wins.
Oh, exactly. Ian, Evan, you guys, any input?
Any thoughts?
Based off of what I've heard, I think Bianca and Jade they're gonna take it. I just think that because they're the two that I kind of know and the other two I don't know at all. I think that
Ian, if I showed you a picture of Bianca and Jade, would you be able to tell me which is which?
Nah. I've just heard the names, but I'm going with them.
I'm literally taking his answer. I mean, I feel like for a league that I'm not too familiar with, I feel like anything can happen. So, Bianca all the way.
That's fair. That's fair.
My question is, like, how long do you expect somebody else to hold Jade Cargill's hand? I mean, she broke into WWE being basically promoted as the female Rock. So when do you give her that time to actually shine? I mean, everyone said the same thing with the Street Profits. Oh, Montez is going to be the next Rock, and then look at them, and then they did nothing. And now Bobby Lashley isn't even in WWE. So it's like, do you make that same mistake with Jade and Bianca and keep them as a tag team?
Not to mention, and I may get this wrong because I didn't follow Jade as much whenever she first came to WWE. I'm pretty sure her first few matches were like squash matches. Like they were really building her up to be this super powerful character. And I kind of get what you're saying, Mark, where like it's cool. That was an awesome build up. But if you have her with Bianca, that's just dropping her value. Her stock's plummeting.
I think it's time. I think it's time for them to finally pull the trigger on Jade and like let her go out and be her own star. And I think that's gonna do a lot, especially for young Black women who are gonna look at Bianca and Jade and be like, "Wow, this is my John Cena and Rock." I can look up to them and be like, "Yeah, like this is possible for people like me also."
Not to mention, and excuse me for interrupting again. I don't mean to keep talking you guys' ear off about this. Not to mention, when's the last time we had like a superstar, a female superstar? Like we had like Becky and like the 4 Horsewomen and stuff back in the late.
Let's say Rhea. She's like one of the only ones right now.
Yeah, Rhea's like
besides Rhea's coming back. She's on a whole other level. But and I know Jade Teresa level.
Yeah, I completely agree. But let's transition into the match I care. Let's transition to the match I care way more about. DIY versus the Bloodline. I'm keeping it short and sweet. Poor DIY's losing those belts.
No
way.
DIY. I need DIY to retain these so bad. I mean,
Jacob Fatu. They're booking him so strong. They're trying to make Solo and this new Bloodline a threat. They're going to win them, and it's going to
they're not a threat.
Solo could possibly win.
Solo and the Bloodline 2.0 will never be a threat. I will always see Solo as a fat The Weeknd wannabe, dog. I'm sorry. He's doing great things, and his character is awesome. I will never see the Bloodline 2.0 as a strong faction.
Think about this, though.
I do like that, too.
They just said absolutely fuck Tongaloa. That guy cannot wrestle to save his life.
Watch the low blow,
we're putting Jacob Fatu in. He can win the tag titles by himself. Yes.
How do you watch
and then go to Raw and win those ones too?
Matt, who do you think's winning this?
Bloodline. I mean, come on. Jacob, I wouldn't be surprised if Jacob Fatu would just squash DIY, honestly.
All right, Troy and Mark, who do you got?
Listen, it's nice to see DIY win the tag titles, but as much as I would love for them to have a long reign, that ain't fucking if that the only way that can happen. I've heard some people say that they're just gonna have Jimmy Uso return and then cost the Bloodline.
I have heard that.
But if you want to make the Bloodline 2.0 look legit, they need to come into SummerSlam with some gold
championships.
So Solo's not going to leave SummerSlam. Well, we'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
We'll get to that later, but
Not yet.
not yet. No spoilers. But I think DIY is just coming out to the ring to be slaughtered. That's pretty much
They're
it.
sacrificial lamb, and it's gonna be so sad because then one of them, I guarantee you, one of them's gonna get injured. I'm gonna say it's Ciampa, and then he's gonna be on the show for like 5 months.
R-Truth is gonna cry watching Shawn
No,
Michaels.
all right, hold on.
Oh, poor DX. DX lose the
Not
title.
too much on Tommaso right now, all right? Calm down.
Awesome. I fucking love this man. The Sicilian psychopath love him dearly. He does get injured a bit, doesn't he?
All right,
He got
Brad,
stem cell treatment, though, so he's out like Rey Mysterio. He's up.
okay, Brad, who do you think's winning this?
Dude, I'm a big Johnny Wrestling fan. I wish they could push Johnny Gargano to the moon solo, but that's just in my dreams, all right? It's not going to happen. And, like, I just see, like, WWE just pushing the new bloodline. I'm not the biggest fan of Solo. Like, he's kind of a lesser version of Roman, and, like, we don't need another Roman 2.0. It's going to be the bloodline. It's going to be a squash. Like, I just don't really see, like, anything. DIY had a good run. I'm glad he won something, you know. I thought they weren't going to win shit, if I'm being honest. You know, good for them, but,
I
like,
think everything with Solo, though, almost in a way kind of justifies Jimmy turning heel at SummerSlam against Jay. Because everyone's like, oh, that doesn't make any sense. And it didn't make sense at the time. But now you look at Solo and everyone's like, oh, fuck, please get off my screen. This is horrible.
Yeah, because
like, it's the same thing that Jimmy said.
Jimmy
And
didn't
like
want
you said,
Jay to
it
be the
doesn't
fucking-
make sense at the time, but it's starting to pan
It's
out a
starting to
little
make
bit
sense.
more.
Yeah, it does.
Hey, Nick, who do you think's gonna win?
I was just saying we can skip him over. We can skip him
I'm
over.
putting it on my grandmother. Love you, Grammy. I'm DIY all the way. DIY all the way.
Well, you better send your grandmother an apology after.
I love my John Wrestling. They're finally getting the push they need. They're great champions. They're entertaining. I don't know if you've been seeing like especially on social media and stuff. They're entertaining, dude. I'm just such a huge fan.
When
of them
Ciampa tries to
finally.
RKO Orton and he fails every time. That is so good.
That's funny.
Well, I mean, think about this. When Waller and Theory lost the belts, they gave DIY zero attention. The thing starting the dissension with Theory and Waller was more of a focal point during SmackDown than even the tag titles. So,
yeah,
unpopular prediction. What if instead of Jimmy returning and costing the Bloodline the belts, what if it's Waller costing DIY the belts, and then Theory's like, "Nah, man, that's fucked up. You can't do that." And then they start doing that.
Nick.
You can see it too, man.
Either way, my prediction is DIY. I would love to see DIY win. I can see why the Bloodline would win because of how they're booking them. The Bloodline, I see the vision. I see the vision they have with the Bloodline 2.0. I feel like they're trying to build them up to that Roman status, but they can't have Roman status because they did not hold a champion for 2 years, right? They're
3.5 years.
3.5 years. They're trying to get the hype and the power behind the Bloodline 2.0 at the same level that Roman had years into his championship reign. So I understand that like how going into SummerSlam with the gold is gonna kind of help him and stuff, but I don't know. I'm still DIY.
You're going against your own argument here. Like, it's clear cut bloodline all
No.
day.
I was just saying I understand both sides. I understand where you're coming from, but I'm still going DIY.
Come on, clear cut.
Oh,
All right, we got to get into SummerSlam itself predictions here. All right, let's start with the hometown boy, Logan Paul versus LA Knight. Yeah.
This better be unanimous. This better be unanimous.
There's not been one motherfucker.
Let's see. Let's start with Brad. Who do you think is winning this?
Dude, I am with LA Knight all fucking day of the week, man. He deserves any title reign that he can get. I would love him in the world title picture, but, you know, I'm asking for too much. But, you know, being Logan in his hometown, which, curious, I wonder what their reaction is going to be because he's a heel.
He's gonna
hated across America.
Likes Logan Paul.
But I want
It's gonna be like, you remember when The Miz was in Cleveland? It was like, I live in LA now.
Well, Miz is a great heel, so what you expect. But I mean, I think. Oh wait, no. Logan sometimes like, oh, Cleveland, Ohio, by way of like Puerto Rico or some shit. But either way, it's LA Knight all day. He's going to have a great U.S. title run. He's going to help the mid card pitcher. I'm excited. So y'all better agree with me. Otherwise, we'll fight.
Nick, do you agree with him?
I gotta go LA Knight. Yeah. Let me tell you, they really should have pulled the trigger on giving LA Knight a title months ago. Probably not even months ago, probably a year ago. Whenever he first blew up, that was the perfect time to pull the trigger. I'm not saying it's too late. Anytime is perfect now that he's up and he still has the hype. Somehow he still has the hype he had whenever he first really started gaining traction. I love it. I'm so excited, and hopefully that he does dethrone Logan. I feel like Logan won't really get that much of a LA Knight won't get that much of a negative reaction if he wins it in Cleveland and dethrones it, because I feel like Cleveland is a good place for Logan to dethrone it, seeing as he's a heel and he's gotten away with all this cheating for so long. It's finally time that he gets what's coming to him in his hometown, stuff like that. But yeah, I'm LA Knight all the way, every day.
Troy and Mark, who you got?
You first, Mark. I am walking into Cleveland in an LA Knight shirt and a Steelers hat just to show Logan Paul that we don't fuck with you, okay? And LA Knight is leaving the Cleveland Browns Stadium as your new United States champion. You can take that to the bank.
Troy?
Okay, listen. So Logan Paul has had the third longest United States title reign in WWE history. This man's only had 3 defenses. Get that shit off him right now. Get that shit right. What the fuck's he been doing with that belt for so long?
Dean Ambrose's reign vibes.
Oh god, Dean Ambrose's reign was terrible. He defended for like 4 times and then had like 700.
Let's not mention I'm thinking of Ryback for the IC title, but same shit. Same
Oh my god, I forgot about
We
that.
don't talk about that.
Ryback confirmed for SummerSlam. He just comes out, jobs the shit out of LA Knight. But no,
he comes back just to injure Punk again.
just to be a pretty. He jumps the crowd. That's stuff wrong. But no, LA Knight definitely needs to win. I'm very curious though, because who else? I'm trying to remember who the mid card of SmackDown is, because hopefully they don't give it to Tonga Loa just to have the Bloodline 2.0 have more belts. They could do transitional champions as well if they really want to do it, because the original Bloodline never won a mid card belt.
If I'm being honest, if they do give it to LA Knight just to lose to the Bloodline, they're tanking LA Knight. They're just screwing him over.
I'm not saying that's what they're going to do. I'm just bringing it out to the universe.
They've missed so many opportunities to strike when it's hot, and now is the perfect time. They need to do it now, and if they don't, LA Knight needs to go back to TNA.
Matt's holding.
Yeah, I mean, they have a working relationship. He can go back.
Bungalow would fuck it up anyway, even if he tried to win the title.
I know. Try that
He
low
would
blow.
fuck it up like Priest when he didn't kick out.
Oh my god. Poor Priest. But no, LA Knight definitely winning this belt. Definitely winning. He's coming in.
Matt?
Yeah. First off, I wanted to point out that Ian over here was like saying I should have brought my prime bottle over here because he drinks a lot.
This
of prime.
motherfucker.
But Logan Paul ain't gonna win this. I think Logan Paul did say that his family was gonna be in the crowd, so Jake Paul might get involved.
Oh god.
Which that'd be hilarious, but
he did say he was bringing out a Cleveland legend. Logan Paul did mention something about bringing out a Cleveland legend. I don't know if that's going to be
Jake Paul. It's Jake Paul. He's the Cleveland legend.
I don't care if LA Knight has to BFT LeBron James. He's leaving Cleveland with the U.S. title. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with all of you. LA Knight is definitely winning this. Logan's defended it twice. I haven't liked how they booked Logan since Mania either. He's a champion and he lost to Cody and lost the qualifying match. Like, way to weekly book your champion. So yeah, I'm going with LA Knight. Brad and I's roommate Dylan O'Neill, I got text from him because predictions are going to be posted in the edit video. He predicted Logan Paul.
This motherfucker. I'm glad he doesn't know. He doesn't know anything.
He is right next door, so I'm going to have a stern conversation with him.
Yeah, right now.
All right, Ian and Evan, I hope you guys agree with us.
Look, I'm a big prime drinker, okay? But I am not a fan of Logan Paul. LA Knight all the way.
Let's go.
Where are you going with that Prime stuff? Because Logan Paul's not going to pay for your liver replacement.
Hey, as long as I
That's
get
is
free Prime
garbage.
event, I'm okay.
Evan,
I don't drink Prime, so I'm gonna say Logan's going down.
Prime sucks anyway. All right, let's get into.
Wait.
Let's not
All
get
right,
out of here.
second match is Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental title. Another easy prediction for me here. If they don't give this fucking belt to Breaker for a second try, I don't know what they're doing. And I've heard that the only reason they didn't give it to him at Money in the Bank is because they wanted to give it to him on a bigger stage. I don't know what I think of Triple H constantly doing that. You don't need to change belts at just big fours every time. But like, I kind of get it for Braun because he's good. He's good. You want to talk about one of the next faces of the company and big push? Oh my God, he is going to get it. So yeah, Braun Breaker, 100%. What do you think, Matt?
So I was actually debating about this one.
Oh my God.
He always is.
No,
Always
this is
debate.
like I think one of the two matches where I was debating, and part of me was like, okay, Breaker should definitely win this, but Sammy has been winning the last couple times, even though I picked Sammy, but I don't know if they would have Sammy retain it again, so I'm gonna go with the safer option and just say Breaker.
All right, nice. And that was a weird noise. Anyway,
Yeah, well, what the hell was that?
I have no clue. That might have been Connie on some bird. Yeah,
Yeah.
it probably is.
Is it
Troy,
I have a pet bird, and my dad just opened my door in my room, so you might have heard him. That might have been it.
thanks, Nick.
He's chirping downstairs. Sorry.
All good. Troy and Mark, who do you got for this?
I think that this is going to be a squash match on the level of Goldberg and Brock at Survivor Series.
Ooh.
I think that you had Braun lose clean with one haluva kick. He didn't hit any spears. I think it's going to be spear right out of the gate, another spear, probably taunt, bring the straps down, one more spear, 1, 2, 3. I love Sammy, but just like DIY, he's just coming out to be slaughtered. That's it.
Ain't that right, Nick?
Boy,
Stop talking about my DIY like that.
Anyway, Troy, who you
I don't
got?
think it's harsh. I don't think it's going to be a squash match, but I do think it's. I'm still surprised that they took Braun down with one haluva kick at Money in the Bank. I thought that was like very shocking.
Should have at least hit 2.
At least 2 if you're really gonna big this up as a killer. But no, I think it's gonna be more on the level of not like a quick squash match, but like Brock Lesnar versus John Cena at SummerSlam 2014, I think it was. Just destroy him the entire time. Like he might get like 2 moves and that's it. Sammy's had a great run. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised the IC title for as long as he did after Mania. Not gonna lie, I thought he was gonna lose it really quickly. He didn't, and it's been after Mania. He's had a good run. I mean, he's doing his comedy shows now that Braun mentioned in his promo that he's now doing comedy stuff. So give it to Braun. I mean, if he does not win this, he's kind of neutered. Like you've neutered this entire new star. So he really needs to win this title. So obviously Braun's gonna win.
All right, Brad, who do you got?
It's going to be Breaker, but it's not going to be a squash match because I felt like it wouldn't make much sense. He already lost to Sammy with one hula kick. Why it's going to be a squash match now? I feel like the most effective way to do a squash match is like they first fought, like Lesnar and Cena in the early 2010s. Obviously they fought earlier, but anyway, but like I'm excited for Breaker to have a good reign, and I want to make a little prediction. Doesn't make much sense. Not necessarily, but I feel like since Jay and Sammy are on good terms, I feel like since Jay has been hot, I think it'd be like the first opponent for them.
Yeah, that could definitely make sense.
Yeah.
Nick, who do you think's winning this?
I'm going with Breaker. As for it being a squash match, I don't think it's going to be like a 1, 2, 3 spears and Sammy's done. I feel like because in Money in the Bank he beat him, he beat Braun clean. I feel like it's going to be a match that's like leaning towards Braun. Then Sammy comes back once, comes back twice, but then like after like the second time of him gaining a little momentum, Braun's going to squash him, and it'll be that. So I feel like there's going to be some sort of fight put up But eventually it has to go to Braun. Now is the time to pull the trigger. If they don't do it now, they've killed another star. Braun might as well go to TNA or whatever.
God, don't say that in front of Troy.
I love TNA, but what do you mean?
Ian, Evan, forgot
Yeah.
your name for a second.
So,
You cared all about
I-
this?
No, but I think I'm agree with Nick. I don't think it's gonna be a squash. I think this is gonna go like just a little longer than you expect, but I definitely think Braun Breaker's gonna pull it out in the end.
Breaker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
Everyone agreeing. You gotta love it.
The only reason why I think it's going to be a squash match is because of that first match, and I feel like that'll light a fire under Braun to be like, all right, now it's time to go rabid
kill
beast
people.
mode now, and maybe it won't be as quick as I said it would be. Like I do think Sammy's probably going to put up a little bit of a fight, and I think I'm starting to agree with Troy more, where it'll be like that Lesnar Cena match where he's just going to pick them apart, and there's not going to be a lot of offense because this has to be a defining moment for Braun. If you want to start his title reign off good, this has to be defining for him. Because if not, he can't just narrowly win against someone like Sami Zayn. No offense to Sami Zayn, he's a great wrestler. But if you look at the two guys, you put them in a cage and say fight for real, Sammy's not coming out of there. Let's be real. So
Braun Breaker moves the ring when he hits the ropes. If we're making this match realistic, Sammy's cut in half within the first 2 minutes.
I mean, he killed Ilya Dragunov and basically,
Oh my god.
TKO'd him for the win. Why? Like I
Killed
see them
Ricochet out of
potentially doing
WWE.
the same thing to Sammy. No pin. Just okay, he's dead.
Like how Sammy lost the NXT title. He got TKO'd by Kevin Owens to lose the NXT title. So
Yeah.
I
Good
think
to
that's
have another
exactly what's
reference.
going to happen.
Oh.
I didn't say that if it was going to be a squash or not because all of you guys said it afterwards. I don't think it's going to be a squash, but I think it's going to be very hard to watch because I think Breaker's going to be absolutely destroying Sammy to where Sammy won't be able to continue. Like he'll try to like want to continue like he did against Kevin Owens, but I don't think it's going to happen. So, and whether or not the ref calls it or if it's too much for Sammy, and
His
he
wife
loses,
throws in the towel.
Oh, that would be good. It's like
Owens.
Iron Sheik. Makes
Jay,
it double.
Jay throws in the towel.
All right, stop.
That would be a good
What, Jay
for
pulls out
Sammy.
the towel from his ass that he wears.
Yeet.
All right, let's get into the next match. And unfortunately, the match I care the least about. It's Bayley versus Nia Jax for the women's
This
title.
is happening.
I'm going to
This
keep
is
it
my
short and sweet here. Bayley's reign has kind of been underwhelming since WrestleMania. She's lacked in rivalries, unlike Liv Morgan, the other champ, who's had a much better story. Nia Jax has always been the challenger for the title, the big dominant monster, but she's never won the big one. They're going to give it to her here. I think they're giving her the belt, especially for the fact that this is the first ever queen of the ring to have a title shot. They can't have the first ever woman lose. And I don't think, we'll predict this too, I think Tiffany's going to kind of tease it, but she's not going to officially cash in. They're making a new briefcase for her. She's going to hold it for a while. It's going to be pink and glittered up, and we're going to start teasing between those two. Who do you think, Matt?
I'm going to say Nia Jax too. And I know people have been saying like Tiffany should most likely cash in, kind of like last year where they cashed in at SummerSlam, where EO did so. But Dylan made a good point. Like there was a whole supposed to be a pink glittered briefcase, special briefcase. So that kind of got me thinking, okay, maybe that won't happen. Maybe she'll bring out the pink glittered, showing it off, and try to cash in. But then, you know, she won't do it because of Nia or something like that. So, but I do think Nia is going to win the women's championship.
All right, let's go to Nick next.
So I don't really follow. I haven't been following the storyline as much, so I'm not familiar with it.
There hasn't been much story at all besides.
I after hearing what you guys said, and I do agree that Bayley's championship reign has kind of not gotten stale, but hasn't met the expectation I had for it. I do think now is the time for Nia to get the championship. And I do think that, because I feel like from what I'm seeing from the clips on SmackDown and stuff, there's kind of, they're teasing tension between Tiffany and Nia. So especially if Nia wins a championship, we can really go that route and explore that storyline of, all right, now is Tiffany going to cash in on Nia? They're going to have like this tension, whatever.
All right, Brad, who do you think?
Well, y'all didn't say this at all, but like I was the biggest Nia Jax hater imaginable. I did not like how she
This
wrestled.
guy was too.
She was stiff. I'm like, she's only here because she's The Rock's cousin, but she really, really turned around. And
Yeah.
she's actually quite enjoyable in the ring. And as y'all said, Bailey's ring has been lackluster, forgettable compared to Liv Morgan's. We'll get into that, my prediction. But I think they got to give it to Nia Jax. I don't know how long the reign's going to last, but the building Nia as like this big monster, I just hope she can just have like a good dominant reign, and then like Tiffy out of nowhere cashes in. Quite a ways away, in my opinion. I feel like Tiffy's going to hold that. I agree with y'all. I feel like she's going to hold on to that. She'll tease a little bit, but it's going to be unexpected because I don't get the point cashing in at SummerSlam. I don't think Tiffy's ready to get the trigger pulled, but who knows? She's been getting popularity, so we'll see.
Yeah, we'll definitely see. Troy and Mark, who you got?
Obviously, it's probably going to be Nia. I mean, you can't have the big monster constantly job, you know? And that's all Nia is the big monster. So you need to have her win something eventually. So, and like I said, Bailey's not done anything. I think the problem with Bailey's reign is like SmackDown, like the two biggest stars on SmackDown are in the tag division, like Bianca and Jade. So like any like the actual main eventers on the SmackDown's women roster, she's forced to just not fight them because they're all faces in the
You
tag
don't think
division.
Meechan's a main eventer?
No.
She's actually been in main event matches.
On what,
Like
NXT?
WWE main event?
No, SmackDown, she actually had a tag match main event.
That don't count. Well, I mean, like, yeah, Nia's gonna win. I feel like them sacrificing the men's Money in the Bank means that Tiffy's gonna have a long reign with that briefcase, probably till next year, honestly.
As long as they make it meaningful. As long as they make it meaningful. Because I was really upset with how they treated the men's Money in the Bank, so they got to make Tiffany's.
Oh, you should have seen how pissed I was at home. Mark was here with.
And I called that exactly too, just like Matt. I was like, they're gonna burn the
he
men's
did.
Money in the Bank.
I called it too. It was
ever.
Wrong match. Mark, who you
Okay,
got?
but Nia's gonna win, and then after SummerSlam, I guess she faces Naomi for the next couple months. I don't know.
Yeah, I just think that Nia's gonna bonsai drop Bailey, and that's gonna be the end of it. She's gonna sit on her, and you got a new champ. That's as simple as it gets.
Yeah, that's honestly, like I said, the match is kind of the least interest. These last four matches are going to be these are going to be the show stealers. Let's start with Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley in the custody of Dominic 2.0 match. Except there is no briefcase; it's just for the title.
They should have Dominic on a pole match. That's what
This one, at
That's
least
next
to
month.
me,
That's in Berlin.
In the shark cage.
to me, it's one of the easiest matches of the night to predict. But let's start with Brad this time. Who do you think's winning this?
As much as I want Liv Morgan to win because a win over Rhea will be phenomenal for her, but
Can you repeat everything you said?
I feel like it's got to be Rhea. Yeah, I saw me glitching out. Now I don't know why I'm okay. Anyway. So
Come on, Brad.
I thought it was awesome.
I'll keep it short. Anyway, I love Liv's reign. I think she's going to be a great star in the future. She has a lot of trials and tribulation. I think she deserves the win. But like Rhea is so fucking hot, both figuratively and literally. I think Rhea is going to win.
Amen.
That's my prediction.
All right, so Rhea, interesting. Let's go to Troy and Mark next this time. Who do you got?
I'm going with Rhea again because I feel like they weren't going to have her lose the belt for a while, but then she got injured. So I think they're probably just going to pick it back up and give it back to Rhea so then she can do the storyline that she was supposed to do before she got injured. You never know. But I feel like Rhea is just so much a bigger star than Liv, and I feel like putting the belt back on her would do wonders. Because let's be honest, we love Liv. She's not done it. Like, what matches that she had for the women's title besides beating Becky with it?
I know her and Selena had a match, but I think that's it.
That's the problem. Like, Liv's storyline has not been for the title. She's kind of just had it and not done anything with it, while Rhea did all this stuff. Well, she did have a longer reign, but I feel like Rhea getting the belt back would just do better for the belt. And I feel like the storyline I don't know if it probably will continue afterward, but I think Liv's story of going like paranoid after she loses the belt, like the revenge tour is not going well. You can have her spiraling down to like this pit of despair or something. But yeah, no, I'm saying Rhea wins.
Interesting. Now, Mark, who do you got?
I have a little bit of a different opinion. I think Liv's going to win because I feel like if you just have Rhea take the belt right off of Liv, that kind of kills the storyline because where do you go from there? Because obviously, if Rhea beats her now, Liv's never getting that belt back, and you basically just squash her. So my prediction is I think Dom's going to try and help Rhea win, but ultimately fuck it up somehow, and Liv's going to end up getting the win. Because I feel like now with Judgment Day, there's kind of a dissension where you have faces and heels in a group. Like clearly you can see Damian and Rhea are the faces, while JD, Finn, and Dom are the heels. And then they're playing this storyline right now where, oh, well, Dom says that he doesn't want anything to do with Liv, and now he's back with Rhea and all this stuff. But yeah, like I said, if they give Rhea the belt, it kind of ends up killing that storyline, in my opinion. So I'm gonna go with Liv.
Your guys' predictions have surprised me besides Mark's, and I'm surprised that no one has said this yet. I think Dom is going to flat out turn on Rhea at SummerSlam. I think it's
Give her a low blow.
time. They've been they have literally been teasing that for months about Liv and Dom, and all of a sudden Dom's back with Rhea. Like, it's not going to be that long.
We also remember Finn Balor took the hotel key. What if instead of Dom turning, it's Finn?
Yeah, that's all true, but I overall think Dominic is going to turn on Rhea and cost her the match, and Liv's going to retain here. Rhea could ultimately win it back either at the next pay-per-view, but I think if you want to really complete this diabolical heel Liv Morgan revenge tour, I think you got to have her retain in a shitty way like that. I saw like a symbolic thing where like Liv Morgan spray painted all the faces in the locker room except Finn's. So possibly like her and Finn are like in comeuppance together. So I could definitely see him getting involved too. But I think Dominic's got to be the ultimate one though that costs Rhea and Liv retain.
You also have something that we haven't seen in a while where Rhea's in the chase. I mean, she was champion forever and she was at the top and people were chasing her. So now it's like, what is she going to do or be like now that she's the one chasing the title over someone that she could obviously beat clean? I feel like that's going to fuck with her mentally.
Yeah.
And adds a deeper layer to the story.
Exactly. But you also got to think, I feel like Liv.
He's glitching again. He's just in again.
I know. Anyway, I feel like Liv is going to win the war. Though she'll lose the title, she will have something to do with breaking up the Judgment Day. And that's my thinking is, you might think Liv is done and Revenge Tour is over as a dud, but like the Judgment Day is going to explode and she's going to have a big part in that. And that's like my thinking. But yet again, you can make the argument Liv retains and destroys the whole Judgment Day, and Rhea is like chasing again. But
yeah, you never know. I want to see what Matt thinks of that.
I agree with both Mark and Dylan. I do think that Liv's going to win, whether it be Dominic accidentally do it or Dominic cost and Rhea on purpose. I personally think that he's going to do it on purpose. And I think at this SummerSlam, I think we're going to see Judgment Day 3.0, actually. I was going to say 2.0, but Edge was the original leader. So I would say it's going to be 3.0, and they're going to get rid of Rhea and Damian Priest.
Hey, listen to this man. He's the predictions god. Him and Mark. Listen to us. Nick, final guy. Who you got?
So this one I was really going back and forth on because I can see it going other ways. I do kind of agree with you guys in that Liv is going to take it because Dom's going to cost Rhea. I feel like they've been building up that tension between Liv and Dom for so long, and then out of nowhere, Dom says "screw you" to Liv, and now he's with Rhea. I smell fishy with that. So I'm really leaning towards the Dom's going to cost Rhea, and that can also propel them into a storyline of now it's Rhea's chasing after Liv because Liv took her title and took everything that like she said she was going to, and now Rhea's fighting to get it back.
Yeah, I could see why for some people this is a tough match to predict. This match to me is a very tough match to predict, and this is Gunther versus Damien.
Oh, easy.
Priest. Oh, not for me, for the world
I feel like
heavyweight title.
easy as you might
If
think.
this
Yeah,
was
why
a
are you so
month ago,
confident?
if this
Fuck.
was a month ago, I would have been confident. I am back and forth on this now with this new Priest character. Let's start with Troy and Mark, since I think Troy has the obvious prediction.
I have the obvious prediction.
I mean, you never know. You've probably seen the most confident.
Fuck, I don't know. Let's be honest. This match is gonna
Not ready.
at like Bad Blood, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, but also to be fair, Punk will probably get injured halfway through, because that's him. So then they'll probably have to call an audible.
I
I'm
think you
gonna
got the
say,
wrong match. Did you say Punk?
yeah, Punk's gonna get
Wrong
in.
match. This is Gunther, Damien,
I'm
Troy.
drunk. I'm drunk as shit.
Oh
Sorry.
my gosh.
Gunther
Really?
Punk.
You're the one who's drunk.
That's another sign. I should go pour a drink.
You get drunk off of ginger ale? Diet ginger ale?
Yeah.
My bad. Listen. Okay, I was distracted by my girlfriend. So important shit. Okay, the title match. Gunther.
All right, Mark, who do you got?
I mean, they could save it for Bash Berlin, but why?
I think Priest is going to retain. I don't know how, but it would make sense to pull the trigger on Gunther. But I think that they're just going to wait for that hometown pop.
I gotta stop doing that shit.
I don't too much. I don't. If you really want to make Priest's reign credible and not look like a chump, like he's got to win. So that's who I'm going with.
All right, Brad, who do you got?
Go with Mark here. It's got to be Damien. And I just feel like now he's getting hot because I feel like the beginning of his reign was like, was he the right choice? I mean, I remember Money in the Bank. People hated that he won. I couldn't name like 2-3 other superstars that I could have won. Like, I think Damien needs this win.
Yeah.
I hope they don't have Gunther win at the Basher Berlin because I feel like that's going to happen because we can see before with how Triple H has trained hometown heroes. I mean, better than Vince. Like Vince was notorious people from the hometowns lose the match. I guess Hunter's trying to repay a little bit, but
unless you're
it's gotta be
McIntyre.
Damien.
Unless you're
Yeah,
Matt.
McIntyre's the only one that has the
that's
job
true.
every time.
All right, Nick, who
That's
do you got
true.
for this?
This one, it can go either way. I know I said I was confident, but as I think about it more, I would love to see Priest win because Priest really surprised me. Whenever he first won at Mania, I was like, all right, this is going to be interesting how they do this. I didn't think he'd be holding it for this long, but I'm happy he is because he's doing something good with it. At first, I was kind of like, if Gunther loses, it's kind of going to be like they're burying him. But now I kind of see it more like if he loses, that's okay because he's still at that level. He just has some adversity he's going to fight against. They're not going to give him – he had the longest reigning IC title. He lost that in his first championship match. Right after that, he's going to win another title. I feel like it'd be okay if they made him lose and gave him some adversity to fight against. And then next time he goes with the World Heavyweight Champion, that's when he wins it. Like I said, I can go either way. I would like to see – I'm going to say Damien, but I'm not going to be kicking my feet if Gunther wins.
Matt, who do you got?
Right now.
All right, I think it's obvious that Cody Rhodes is. I'm sorry, our match. I think Gunther's gonna win. You guys keep bringing up the fact that you think that he might lose and then win it in his hometown or whatever at Bash in Berlin. I don't think that's
Austrian.
I don't think it's the same.
Counts.
I think what's going to happen is that he's going to win at SummerSlam, and he's going to be perceived as the champion going into Bash in Berlin.
Ilya.
And because Rhea Ripley earlier this year at Elimination Chamber, she walked in as women's champion in our hometown of Australia. So I think Gunther's going to win this, and I think that Finn might cost Priest, and they break up.
I was just thinking about that. Yeah, if you do
it, it's a good take.
Yeah,
that is a good take. I didn't even think about.
I will say for this feud, they've done a great job for this because I've been so critical of Priest as champion early on, not liking it at first and saying,
Very
"Oh,
much
he's not a
so. I
real
remember
champ."
that.
But he's with his face turn. It has been. I think it's gotten a lot more fresh. It's gotten a lot better. I think this Priest Gunther feud has blown people out the water because at first, even me and Troy were like, "This match ain't SummerSlam worthy." Well, they're doing it at SummerSlam, and to me, it
Somehow
does
they
feel
did it.
SummerSlam worthy.
They
Like
changed our
Priest and
opinions.
Gunther brawling a few weeks in a row has been incredible. Priest's character has just been so much stronger trying to fix this whole Judgment Day problem. I could just flip a coin here because I can argue that Priest needs the win more.
But see,
Establish his face character a little bit more.
the one thing to think about is this is the first time we've seen, not the first time, but I think that I'm pretty sure this is the first time recently that we've seen a King of the Ring have a title shot.
Yeah, one of the first times. I think since Rock in 02.
If okay, but what's that? 22 years.
22
To get a title shot in 22 years, loses it. How does that make King of the Ring look?
And my thing with Finn turning on Priest, if Gunther's gonna win, I'd rather have him win clean. He's that type of dominant heel that doesn't need to cheat to win, and I love those type of old school heels. That's why he's Troy's favorite wrestler. I think Troy, when we were going over predictions for this match, was probably stunned. He's like, "You guys are all picking Priest." Like,
I was like, "The fuck, guys!" He's like,
to me, this is
my
a flip. It's a flip of a coin for me, but I'm gonna go with Gunther because he just doesn't seem like that character that needs to go through adversity.
When is Bash of Berlin?
The end of the month.
It's like 3 weeks later.
So, like, my thing is, you have Gunther go in as champion, and then all of you expect Ilya Dragunov after he got TKO'd in a mid-card title feud. That doesn't make sense.
I was just saying that as a joke. I don't think it's actually going to be that. It's going to be something
That's probably
else.
what they'll do. That's probably the match they'll do if Gunther wins, and that makes less sense than Damian winning.
The match will be delicious, though. It will be physical.
No, but I think Gunther's going to win just because it seems to be like the time to do it. Like I said, he's not a character that needs to go through adversity. And yeah, you could say hometown pop for a title win, but he's a heel. You really want that for like the biggest heel in the company to have a big pop like that? Like,
yeah.
I mean, didn't they technically do that with Rhea?
No
was still
hometown hero
technically
wins.
a heel. Same shit.
Yeah.
I don't see. They just care about getting crowd reactions. It doesn't matter if you're good.
That's all wrestling is.
Exactly.
No, I wanted to say I don't think it's gonna be Ilya versus Gunther at Bash of Berlin. I think it will be Ilya versus Braun Breaker for the IC title.
That makes more sense.
Yeah,
and then
that makes more sense. But I feel like Ilya is gonna get speared in half, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, again.
Ian and Evan, I forgot to ask you about the Rhea prediction. So predict both. Just predict both of them. They're both the Judgment Day.
We're not usually on the podcast, so
yeah, that's fine. I don't know the last match, but I do.
Rhea versus Liv was the last
I got
one.
Rhea. I got Rhea. Totally Rhea. This match, I think I'm the most confident on. Give me 1 second. Hey Siri, flip a coin. Tails, it's done.
Yeah. Evan, what do you think for Liv Rhea first? Who's won it?
So I think Rhea might win, just because with this one, I feel like it's going to be that revenge story that like sets you back into the original storyline that's supposed to happen before her injury, like you guys mentioned.
Yeah. Damian Gunther, who do you think's winning?
Siri, flip a coin. I'm gonna say Gunther on that one.
I think you guys picked the wrong match to do the flip a coin because we are going to talk about the most anticipated match in a long time.
I got preached in this match. This one.
The best feud, not just in WWE, but in wrestling this year. Oh my God. The Punk's injury was a blessing in disguise. These two have been killing it with this. And I don't mind the Seth interaction at all. He'll be very interesting as a special guest ref. This is a match we've been anticipating for freaking months. I am so damn excited. Definitely 100%. It should be the match everyone's the most excited for. This is the toughest match for me to predict by far. So who's got the balls to start? Who's got a prediction?
I'll go first.
You'll go first?
Yeah, I don't think I've gone first in a while. All right, so first off, I'm going to be wearing a CM Punk shirt at SummerSlam. So I'm going to go with CM Punk. I mean, this is his first match back since injury, but also it's his first singles match back since, 2014 or so. So I think, I know Seth's gonna get involved considering he's the referee, but I think he's gonna end up letting Seth win, or Seth's gonna let Punk win, and that's gonna piss off Drew even way more. And then, I could see maybe Drew and Seth down the line, honestly, and then that could cause more tension to wait later down the line for next year's Mania. But my pick is going to be CM Punk.
I'll save me for one of the last ones. Let's go to Brad.
I am so torn on this. And I've been thinking about this all day. And I am the biggest CM Punk fan. Like, when he came back to AEW, I cried like a little baby.
Like the fan. Like that one.
Like, literally, though, oh my God. But I have to go with Drew Mack here because he keeps getting fucked over and over again. And, like, he's a star. I'm a big Drew Mack fan. I loved him with the Broken Dreams theme when I was a little kid because I was sick, all right? And, like, but he's been getting cucked. He got cucked by Punk twice with a world championship. Like, that won't do him justice if he loses to, I guess, Punk's first singles match. I do. But, like, Punk is going to be a star. People are still be chanting his name no matter what if he loses. Drew Mack needs this win so he can be, like, somewhat legitimate because he's been just not having the best year. A lot of big losses and getting screwed over. I think Drew Mack needs a win, but I don't think it'll be, like, a clean win. I think Seth has animosity towards Punk, so that could set up something in the future. That's why I'm going with Drew Mack, not a clean finish.
Interesting. Nick, who do you got for this?
Dude, this has been the one, like, even like whenever I first knew that this was gonna happen and I knew it was gonna be Drew and CM Punk, dude, I was racking my brain then. It's really like it's one of those matches where I'm not going in rooting for everyone. I'm going in just to enjoy the match.
Both these guys, that's what we're chanting because we love them.
I do lean a little more towards Drew just because, like Brad said, dude, he's been losing and losing and losing and losing some more. And if he loses this match, then where is there to go for him? Punk's gonna be a star either way. Punk's gonna find someone else, and they're gonna have an amazing feud. It might even be Seth Rollins. He's set up just because he's CM Punk. I'm not saying Drew's not set up because Drew does have that aura around him, but I feel like after losing so much, like it's time he deserves to finally get that 3 count. Clean, not clean, whatever. Will say though, I feel like this little wild card of Seth Rollins being guest referee, I'm very excited to see how that plays in. And I'm very happy they figured that out because whenever like there was the animosity before with like Seth and Drew and Punk, in my head I was like, I want to see them all like get together, but I don't want it to be a triple threat. I want it to be Punk, I want it to be Drew, and I want Seth to be
out of context, Nick, that sentence.
Hey, yo, pause. But I'm gonna if you're holding a gun to my head, I'm gonna go Drew, but I'm really just gonna sit down and enjoy the match.
I'll go next year because I want to. I will say you guys have been saying Drew's kept getting fucked over, but you guys haven't acknowledged that it's Drew's fault that he's kept getting fucked over. It's his character's fault that he's been getting screwed over. He's been paying too much attention to Punk. That's what costed him at WrestleMania. Clash at the Castle, he ironically forgot about Punk, and that's what led to Punk coming out. And then Money in the Bank, he just flat out guaranteed he was going to win the world title, destroyed Punk, stole his bracelet. Cheesy or not, it's his bracelet.
No, that's kind of hard though because this back on Raw, whenever they had that go back and forth, and Punk was like, "I have them chanting my name. What do you have?" He held up his bracelet. That was cool as hell.
That was cool as
He
hell.
looked him in the eyes and he said, "Take it from me." I was like, "Oh fuck!" That was so tough. Clean as shit.
It is, but I am leaning more towards what Matt is saying. I know he's a star, but either way, win or loss. But the fact that it is his first singles match, I think people are saying to keep the feud going, Drew should win. I think to keep the feud going, which I mean, it's no doubt going to keep going. I think Punk needs to win this. I want to see just Drew like more pissed off than we've seen him in months losing the match.
How much
possibly.
more pissed off can this man get?
Oh, he can.
Bring this dog right
He
now.
can attack Triple H.
See
if he
Larry,
wants to.
pick it up, throw it.
He's gonna bite Larry's head off like Ozzy Osbourne.
And then clothesline the shit out of AJ Lee.
I think what's gonna happen is they're gonna do a whole Brett, Shawn Michaels, Undertaker thing.
I was just about to mention that. Yeah.
I
Where
legit was thinking that exact
He's
thing.
gonna hit CM Punk, but Punk misses and he hits Drew, and then shit's gonna go.
I could
crazy.
definitely see that being like a finish, but I'm gonna go with Punk to start the feud. I could, in terms of who I think, it's weird because now with Seth included, I think we got to get a triple threat match down the line. That might be where the feud ends.
That's the problem.
I think Drew's definitely going to win a match, maybe possibly even more than that. I think Punk is ultimately going to win the feud itself because I think he's going to go for a world title next year at Mania and Main Event. But yeah, I got, since it's Punk's first singles match.
CM Punk, John Cena, Randy Orton, the main event WrestleMania.
Yeah, I got Punk winning this.
That
So
sounds
Troy,
good.
Mark, who do you got?
Okay, I can finally say with my piece that I was gonna say at the last match. So Punk gets injured like every 5 seconds. I think here's what's gonna fucking happen. This man's gonna get fucking injured during the match again because he's fucking made of paper. I'm sorry, he's old.
Uses to take steroids, which he should.
The little bitch. He's gonna get injured, and they're gonna have to call an audible, and that's how McIntyre's going to win. Because Seth's already gonna cheat probably to help both of them because he said on Raw he hates both of them. So he's probably. I was also thinking they could do a super dumb shit, which they could do. What they would have done back in the day was just have this being a double TKO, like a double count out kind of shit. Just so they can make it triple threat match.
That's a great way to ruin the.
That would have what Vince would have done, though. You know for a fact that would have happened like in the old school, like ruthless aggression era. They would have definitely done a DQ just to keep this feud going. They're not going to do that now, but if they do, I could see it, not going to lie, so they can make that triple threat match. But Seth's going to get involved, attacking everyone. I'm still going to go McIntyre, though, because Paper Punk is going to get injured. Love him dearly, but this man, he's going to get injured again. He got injured, what, like twice in AEW? Like, both his world title matches got injured again and again. He gets back to WWE.
He was injured by a barricade.
Hater of the year, man.
It wasn't even a
Hater of
match.
the year.
Yeah, I know. This man walked. It was like, oh, hell. So this man's going to get injured again. And unfortunately, that means he's going to be out till Mania or Rumble. Sucks. But McIntyre is going to win because of an audible.
Interesting there. Mark, who do you got?
Look, guys, I'm going to be completely honest. I have the dirt sheets. I'll tell you exactly what's going to happen. So, look at this. So, the only person that Seth hates more than Drew McIntyre is CM Punk. Everybody, Drew and Seth both collectively hate Punk. The vitriol in this feud is insane. So, this is my prediction. I think that Punk and Seth are going to end up arguing somehow, and he's going to hit him. Seth's going to hit Punk with something, and eventually Drew's going to get the win. And then right out of the pin, Seth will count the 3, and then curb stomp Drew immediately. And then after that, guess what? Seth is going to dance away. After he knocks both of them
Yeah,
out.
that's what we want for a bud.
That would set up a triple.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
Are we excited for what what Seth's gonna wear as a ref?
Oh yeah, I can't wait until he comes on into a zebra costume.
He's going to wear a thong.
Yeah, he's going to have a ref-colored butt plug just ready to go.
Hell yeah. And I hope they get a good close.
And it's not a 3 count. You gotta pin him for. You gotta keep the opponent pinned for as long as they can put it in.
You don't win by pinfall or submission. You make them.
Oh,
we're gonna get canceled. Stop it! Stop it!
We're not on Netflix. Netflix, they can do that.
Ian and Evan, who do you got here? You might actually care about this match.
So Punk is one of the people that I've known for a long time. I haven't watched much wrestling, but like I've known the name, and at least recently, every time I watch Punk on a wrestling, like on a pay-per-view with these guys, he always gets hurt. Always gets hurt. So I'm gonna agree with Troy on this one. He's getting hurt. McIntyre's taking it.
He's tearing both quads, Vinnie Mac style. He's just gonna have to claymore him on the floor.
Oh my God.
He's like,
$20.
It's just
Okay.
$20.
start $20. What's your prediction?
Thanks, Evan.
Donate to the chat. Yeah, it was him. What you mentioned that he's gotten injured literally at every match, every game, right? Right.
Every match,
So,
every game.
what do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? He's going to get injured at this again, and it's going to be the end of his career.
Bold prediction: he is not going to get injured.
Ooh.
At this
That's
event.
quite bold. That ain't happening. Here's a real prediction.
Receipts.
Matt Hardy to convince Punk to start taking drugs. Let's go.
God.
Get this man some trend, please. Get on the roads.
I was
Listen,
gonna-
listen. He even got injured.
We're gonna play 30 right now.
I was going to say, in
got
all
injured in the UFC
seriousness, because you keep mentioning the injuries, I really hope this lives up to the hype, because it's going to be really tough for Punk, to stay healthy and maybe try to deliver a great match. It's going to be tough to live up to the feud and have a match, especially for the fact that there's no stipulation yet. But I'm really hoping. I know we keep joking about him being injured. I really want this to live up to the hype, because this is the most anticipated match of the show. It's not even close.
I don't either.
Troy should be Leader of the Year. I don't want to hear his BS. Me and Matt, congratulations to me and Matt for winning predictions, because we're always right.
Yeah.
I really hope that Punk doesn't get injured. And I really hope that he's able to continue on. And I'm really hoping that I from what I've seen and from stuff I've heard through the grapevine and stuff, Drew's a very safe person to work with. You guys saw how he reacted whenever Damien had that little botch because the ropes were fucked up at
You Clash at the Castle.
Clash at the Castle. The one of the first things I saw was Drew took that bump on the floor, then popped right up and automatically just wanted to go help. Still staying in character, but popped right up, didn't sell the bump, and went to go help Damien. So I kind of feel like this feud's great, and the characters, I could tell they hate each other, and they even might not like each other in real life. But I'm really hoping that Drew keeps in mind that Seth's history, injuries, and works really safe with them, so they can let this match live up to the hype.
I'm very hopeful that it can live up to the hype, but it is main event time. It is Cody Rhodes versus Nick's favorite wrestler, Solo Sikoa.
Yeah, what is it called? Like the Great Value Weekend or something?
He's a fat weekend cosplayer.
That means he can sing the Mania theme song for next year.
Let's just
Let's
ironically acknowledge this. The draw of the match is not the match. It's Roman Reigns.
Oh, yeah.
And no one even knows if he's coming back for sure. That's the best part.
What's going to happen? I don't think Roman's. I heard The Rock is free now.
Let's predict a few things first and organize it. We're going to predict who's going to win first, which is easy, and then Roman and possible other returns. So first, who's winning this? Let's start with Matt here for this.
Oh, great. Okay. I obviously think Cody's going to win. I do see Roman returning. I don't think The Rock's going to show up, but I do think Roman's going to show up. And that's going to lead to the whole beginning of the original bloodline against the new bloodline. I honestly wouldn't even be surprised if Heyman showed up and distracted Solo first, to where Solo's looking at Heyman, and then Heyman points, and then out of nowhere, Roman spears Solo. But, yeah, I think Cody's gonna win, hands down.
Nick, who do you got?
Cody. Nothing else needs to be said. There hasn't even really been a build up to this match. They've just been focusing on building up the bloodline. I feel like if the bloodline does get involved, then we're gonna see some more layers add to it, because there's no way that Cody loses the title right now and people talk about this title reign. I feel like he needs to keep the title. If the bloodline gets involved, then we're probably going to see Jey Uso get involved somehow. Other people will get involved. Maybe if we're lucky, Roman's going to come out and set the Bloodline 2.0 straight. I'm going like Cody all the way.
Brad, what do you got?
Solo, easy. Come on now. Honestly, get the fuck out of here. But I feel like this. I'm not excited for this main event because I feel like Roman's going to come back during WrestleMania. I just feel like this match is going to be good. I know, like, one, he kind of deserves it, but like The Rock ain't coming back. Fuck him anyway. And Roman, he's gonna be gone for a year plus. I'm sorry.
Wow.
I mean,
Whoa.
he's coming back at Mania at the very least. It's just gonna be a dud. I just wonder what they could do. Like, I like the prediction with Heyman coming in, but like it'll be great, but I just feel like that won't happen. But I feel like there'll be some bloodline trickery, otherwise this match will be completely pointless. So.
Troy and Mark, who do you got for this?
So this is sad to say that this is my second least looking forward to match of the entire damn show. Not gonna lie. Don't care, not that much. Cody's winning. I don't mind Solo.
You don't care.
Solo's an all right wrestler. I just don't feel he's a main eventer. Like at this point, still, like I don't think he wrestles like a main eventer. He doesn't really.
I feel like if this was Cody versus Fat 2, we'd be more excited.
Yeah, Fat 2's a better wrestler. And he can talk more than fucking Solo. My thing is, at this point, I don't know. Mark keeps telling me that he wants Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes feud for the belt, and now he's
at Mania. That's got to be the Mania match.
But now John Cena's retired, like last Mania.
He doesn't need to face Randy Orton at Mania for.
Yes, he does. Pipe down.
Well, John Cena's not going to retire at Mania. He's retiring after that.
Talking about. Rock
That's what I said. They can always
It's going to be some elevation down the road for John Cena.
Listen, back to it. Cody's definitely painting because at this point, I'm now thinking he's going to drop it to Randy Orton. That's how Cody's going to lose the belt. His legacy brethren beats the shit out of him later down the line. It's going to be after this bloodline shit, and then Randy turns heel. But yeah, Cody retains here.
Mark, you got Solo, right?
No, I'm not laughing. That's not even funny. Cody, no question. The whole build up to this match has just been Cody getting the absolute shit beat out of him. So I don't see they're going to do that and then squash Cody after he destroyed the champion who was champion for almost 4 years. I mean, well, what sense does that make? I would love to see. Which one of you said that Heyman would come out? Was that you, Matt?
Yeah.
I would love to see that and be like, "Here's the real tribal chief. Look behind you," or some shit. That would be sick. But I really don't think that Roman's going to come back at this show. I don't know. This might be unpopular, but I think it would be interesting to see, like, Cody wins, afterwards he leaves, Solo's in the ring, and then The Rock comes out and, like, bitch smacks Solo. He doesn't have to get that involved, but he's like, look, you fucking suck more than Roman. I'm going to be the real tribal chief. Because I really want them to build up to that whole War Games match with good bloodline versus bad bloodline. So I don't know. This is my unpopular off the wall prediction. I got that whole thing happening with The Rock, comes out, says to Solo, I'm the fucking tribal chief, whatever. Then you build to Rock and Cody at Bad Blood. That's the perfect time for Roman to come back, spear The Rock, screw him over for the title. Then you build to that match. But maybe they want to go with Solo and Roman first, which I can understand. But hey, we'll see.
If I can interject, that's a phenomenal idea. Great booking. I will say, Bad Blood and Survivor Series are like only weeks away. I feel like that build up would be great if we had like a month or two, but they can't build up that entire storyline with only weeks in between them. But go on. I think
there's a Saudi show in between there as well. When are we doing the next Saudi show?
I don't care. I could care.
It actually happens now on the Saudi shows.
That's not Vince booked anymore.
Yeah, Saudi shows actually matter now, so I have to pay attention.
Look at Goldberg's gonna win the women's tag belts.
For my prediction here, I mean, this main event, yeah, it's just not that interesting. I've loved Solo's character work, but that doesn't equal to his in-ring stuff. Like I said, I feel like Fat 2 would have been a much more interesting matchup for Cody and much more of a threat to Cody.
That would have also been a much more predictable thing because Fatu just came in at WWE.
But it's predictable either way. Cody's not losing that belt. It's just like an early ass bold prediction all the way to Mania. I think The Rock dethrones Cody. I think the final boss beats him for the title. He tried to politic his way, The Rock. Apparently he was going to beat Roman for the title, or he tried to beat Roman for the title and then relinquish it the next night. Remember all those rumors? I could definitely see this final boss character dethroning Cody and winning the title next year at WrestleMania. I do think we're getting a Cody-Randy feud in the fall. I do agree, but I think Cody's going to come out on top of that feud. I don't see Randy really winning that feud. I think he's going to put Cody over. So, yeah, I think The Rock, Cody's the end game for Cody's reign.
Kind of piggybacking off of that idea, if they were to do what you said, imagine if they did, like, they pulled a Roman story with Rock and they, like, dragged this out forever, and he ends up pulling a Brock and just walks into Money in the Bank and just grabs the briefcase and then comes out, like, during Payback with Roman when he won the Universal title, like, mid-match and just says, yeah, I'm just going to come in and pin whoever now I'm the champ. Like, can you just fucking imagine that?
Oh, God. Hey, The Rock can do that. He's
got the Netflix star next year.
They need a big star to be on that Netflix show.
In terms of Roman, it would make absolutely zero sense if he doesn't come back on this show. Solo has literally now gone from saying Roman's never coming back to saying, Roman, if you got a problem with this, come face me. You've talked about the build not even being about Solo Cody. It's been about Roman, this build. It's been about, hey, Roman, you got the balls to, like, defy me as the tribal chief, come out. So if Roman doesn't come back, then what are we doing? Like, much longer are we extending this?
It's like the whole thing with Punk coming back to AEW. They sold out a whole arena just based on a rumor. So
yeah,
it's like this. This is the main event based on a rumor. It's not because of star power.
This is the main event.
Solo does not have main event. Like, he doesn't wrestle like a main eventer.
No, he's still mid card.
Solo's character work he's been filling in the shoes that he was stepping into. Hey, I agree that he's not that main event level yet, but I will say that I've been paying attention to how he's working and stuff. He is starting to grow into that position of, if we gave him enough time, he could maybe be somewhat of a tribal chief.
It's definitely better than what it started out as.
I guess you entered the fray. I think it got a lot better. I think the Bloodline 2.0 got a lot better. So I think Cody retains. I think Roman comes back, and I'm going to say The Rock comes back too, because
both returns. Holy shit!
Because we need to keep Cody in the spotlight. I don't want a Roman return to completely overshadow Cody in his reign, because he's get the face of the company. So since The Rock teased going after Cody, I think we're gonna start that feud between Rock and Cody. Like, it's not the match isn't gonna happen, but we're gonna start that feud. And I think once Solo loses, The Rock's gonna be revealed as the tribal chief. And I think the Bloodline 2.0 needs him as the leader to be.
But The Rock is not gonna be that involved with it. That's the thing. Like, he barely shows up on like WWE at all. It was a miracle to even have him in a match. I just don't believe
he can cut promos via satellite.
We fucking need that. Bring it via satellite. We don't need that shit. No, we don't. That's why John Cena should have won that WrestleMania match. I'm just saying, Rock ain't coming back. Like, he barely wants to be there as is, and he's busy making like mid movies while making billions. All right, like. His ass ain't coming back.
You tell me Black Adam wasn't good? to the point where it got canceled with Ian yet.
Look, they booked themselves in a corner with having like Solo and Cody. While I wish the Bloodline could focus on like more internal matters and maybe build it up more, because like Solo is just not that guy. I know WWE wants to be that guy, but he's not that guy. Yeah, exactly.
I feel like people wanted Cody Randy at this show. And that's what was rumored for a while, but we didn't get it. So we're probably teasing it later in the fall, but we can't see it in person, which sucks. Ian and Nick, or Evan, I keep getting the names wrong. For the main event, who do you got? And also, do you think Roman's coming back?
Yeah, I'm going to keep this pretty short and simple. Cody's winning. Roman's coming back. And all I'm going to say, if you say his name,
he appears.
I believe in Joe Hendry confirmed
saying that.
Instant main eventer right there.
Nick, I got him into Joe Hendry, so
yeah, wild man for saying that.
Anyway,
Evan,
so listen, can we talk about TNA now?
Look, I'm gonna do a quick answer because I'm tired of getting bit by bugs out here. Cody's is gonna win. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, you're not wrong. We are getting bit by bugs.
Wait,
there it
is.
You said his name. He had to
everybody do the Hendry
It's
face.
going to be ridiculous.
Dude, what if SummerSlam? No, he comes out to face LA Knight for the U.S. title.
Is that going to be the?
That should be the thumbnail.
LA Knight
All
and
right,
Joe
we're
Hendry
going
feud
way
would feed
too
families.
off
It would
the-
feed me.
We're going off a tangent here. All
God damn
right.
it, Ian.
Let's,
Joe
all right, let's give ourselves a round of applause for a great SummerSlam predictions video. We had some glitches, thanks, Brad, but we've had some fun. We've had some fun moments. I appreciate you guys doing this as a fucking motorcycle passes us.
Listen to Guar.
Riding off. It's biker taker style.
Oh god, not that one.
But hey, what I'm most excited to see at SummerSlam is Joey Roll live. He's performing.
Oh, that's also my piss break.
Let's
Fuck, at the
go.
opening?
Definitely not going to be my piss break or anything.
I got 2 piss breaks. I got the Bailey's match and that. Fuck. 2 pisses.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining. To the audience here, have a great night. Have a good SummerSlam.
Wait.
Try
He
to
wants to
post
come
the
out.
ball. One more thing.
Hey, real quick. Anyone who's watching this, I'm an up-and-coming indie wrestler. You can follow me at RubioBell888 on all socials. Thank you. He beats people from Bell to Bell. There you go, ladies and gentlemen.
My
Follow
wrestling
my
promotion, I'm part of his
channel. I have a food review channel called Big T Taste Tests on YouTube right over here on this page if you'd like to follow. Please and thank you.
Big titty taste test? What?
I know. Yes.
All right. Have a good night, guys.